So I was watching mgtow's Freedom. He made a video called "Women Reinventing the Wheel." I thought it was very funny because he used this analogy. He said, at some point, let's say for example, a woman, she says, "I want to go put out like there's a fire that breaks out, right?" And she says, "Oh, I'm going to put out the fire," and she goes and gets herself a small, instead of water, she goes and gets herself a small cup of gasoline, right, and throws it on the fire, and then it just makes the fire worse. And then you go, "What are you doing? That's gasoline. You need to get water. Put water on the fire. Now it's growing." And she goes, "Oh shit, I'll fix this." And you tell her, "Go get water." And she goes and gets a can of gasoline, and she starts dumping the gasoline on the fire, and the fire just starts growing bigger and bigger. And you go, "What the fuck are you doing? You're throwing gasoline on the fire. You're making it worse." And she goes, "Oh, stop it. I know what I'm doing." And then she goes and gets a fucking barrel of gasoline and is about to throw it on the fire. At some point, you go, "Yeah, fuck that. I'm out of here. You're gonna blow us all up." Right? At some point, you gotta. It's at a point where you gotta walk away. You just have to walk away. Don't get frustrated with it anymore. It's too late. It's done. Fuck them. Right? If my whole point is, if people still haven't figured out that marriage is a scam, that the feminism garbage is bullshit, and all the political stuff is also bullshit, if people still haven't figured that out yet, then I'm not going to stick around for the blast to happen. I'm going to get the hell out of there. And that's the mentality I've come to. You see, I've realized, I watched that movie Idiocracy last night. And if you haven't watched it, I suggest that you watch it, because it's so funny how it replicates American culture today, and it's worse than that, really. And you just look around at people, and I just see that movie Idiocracy, and how people they don't want to know, they don't care, they don't give a shit. I feel that at least the best I could have done is at least I tried to say something about it, and I feel that that's better than not doing anything at all. But at some point, I think with most people, is that you have to learn how to walk away. Whether it's trying to, still talk about trying to save people from the marriage laws, or save people from the fact that modern day women today are useless, basically. You can only yell and scream so many times. If it still hasn't clicked on their head that they're getting fucked, then I'm out of there. Fuck them. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to yell at a brick wall. You see, the thing that mgtow has realized is, we know that that the modern day woman today, with buying into the feminist propaganda and garbage and brainwashing, whatever you want to say it is. The point is, them buying into this stuff. You see, we can see 1,000 yards down the road. And we know they're fucked, right? It's like when you're watching a race, and there's a big crash up ahead, and the person and you're watching on your you're watching the race on a little thing, and it shows you where the cars are on the track, like if it's like a track diagram. But you know that there's a crash up ahead, but the car racer is going like 200 miles an hour. And the crash happened on the bend, and so they can't see it until they're right up on it. And by the time they're right up on it, it's too late. They're going to crash too. And you can see that. And you keep telling the people, slow down, slow down, slow down. There's a crash. There's a crash up ahead. It's around the corner. You have to slow down. No, I'm going to win the race. I'm going to win the race. Everything's going to be fine. And then they crash. So that's very much what the argument and trying to tell people, feminism is garbage. It's a joke. Stop it. You're killing yourself. You're killing humanity. You're destroying men's lives. You're destroying yourself, your own life. Right? You keep telling people all this stuff, and they don't want to listen, and they keep going faster, and they keep going faster, and they keep going faster, and they keep going faster. But right around that bend, there's a big accident, and they don't want to slow down, and they're gonna end up having an accident. They're gonna crash. And so this is, I think, a question of morality in a lot of ways. Because I know that people want to do good. I think a lot of good people want to do good things. They don't want to see people, people want to try to help people, and and do all this stuff. I'm here to tell you, you can't save the world. You just can't. This world is not run by anything good. It's not run by good intentions, by good people. It's run by complete evil. Right? And at some point, you got to learn how to walk away. And so, like I said, I think it's a question of morality. You know, I think a lot of people, you know, they want to do good things, but they don't realize that the people don't want to help themselves. And what's happening is that, you know, going back to that analogy with the gasoline that mgtow mentioned, you keep telling them, don't throw gasoline on that fire. And then they keep throwing more gasoline until they get a big barrel of it. And then they throw it on top of the fucking fire. And then that blows everybody up, including themselves. And at some point, you're like, yeah, fuck that. I'm getting the hell out of here. That's the mentality that I've come. That's my point, you know. That's the point I've come to now, and it's freeing. It's freeing to me because at least I did something. At least I tried to help people. I made videos, and I'm not canceling my channel. I'm just not going to talk about this if people don't want to listen. Right? I think a lot of my subscribers get it. I think they get it. If you've watched other mgtow channels, if you've followed what's going on, then you're informed, and that's all you need to be, is informed. But as far as going out and trying to convert people, no. Not doing that. Forget about it. You see, I used to be in that kind of mentality. I used to think to myself, I'm going to go try to tell as many men as I possibly can about mgtow and about how they're getting screwed over. The bottom line is people don't care. They really don't give a shit. This is why you have to learn through suffering. This is why learning through suffering is the only case. Because you learned through suffering. Do you think that if somebody came and told you about mgtow, I don't know, 20 years ago, do you think you would have listened? Unless you had a good reason to listen, like the fact that you got hurt and screwed over by women. You had to go through turmoil before you had to fully embrace the philosophy to understand what people were trying to tell you or what you went through. So I used to be in that mentality of trying to go and do that, but people don't want to listen. They have to learn through suffering. People have to learn through suffering. I think the reason why mgtow works so well is because you learned from suffering. You learned from your unfortunate experiences with women, or for being married and then divorced and had child support issues, and dealing with the laws in the divorce court. You learned and applied this information because you went through suffering. I think that if people don't go through suffering, then they're never going to get it, because things are good. They're bliss. Ignorance is bliss, right? So when it comes down to women and the rest of the women in the population, I am done. I'm done trying to I'm done getting worked up about it, you know. And I never really was, but in certain ways I was, because it's frustrating to watch the chaos and the destruction happen before your eyes. It's frustrating. It's frustrating seeing somebody try to put out a fire with fucking gasoline, but they're thinking they're actually putting it out. Oh, it has liquid though. Liquid puts out fires, but it's fucking gasoline, you fucking idiot. That gasoline is their mentality, right? It's their feminist ideologies. It's their belief in all these different things that we see going on today. It's not just feminism, it's all this other stupid crap that makes up this artificial world that we live in, with artificially created news, artificially created people that wear artificial clothes, doing artificial things that we're artificially told to do that. By people and by advertisements, they mimic and they do it. And they just don't get it. They don't get you. If you don't stop doing that shit, you're going to bring us all down, and you're going to bring yourself down. And just like I said, you can see that, you know, it's frustrating because you can see the crash ahead, and you're like, oh shit, they have to slow down, or they're going to crash. And they don't want to listen to you, right? Save yourself. Save yourself from all of it. Don't get, you know, the whole point of the video today is just a little bit of words of advice. Keep this stuff to yourself. Don't try to go out there and try to convert people like some kind of like the religious organizations do, because that implies a savior of mentality. And then what happens is they can put all the blame on on the person that, it's that whole thing, don't blame the messenger, just listen to the message. They're going to blame the messenger because they haven't ever learned from suffering. And what women are going to have to do is learn from their suffering. And unfortunately, that suffering is going to be hardcore. And we're all going to learn from that suffering. Because look what's happened. The civilization is collapsing. And it's collapsing in the sense that the moral fabric of the society is non-existent. The overall common sense is no longer existent. People are completely oblivious to anything because even when they want to try to learn through suffering, they still don't get it. Sometimes they got to go through more suffering. But the moral fabric of the society, the idiocracy of American society and the whole world for that matter, it speaks for itself, And we're all going to have to get, these people are going to have to learn from their suffering. And unfortunately, I think that suffering is going to all bring us to the point of some sort of civil, complete degradation, degeneration. And that degeneration is exactly what we're seeing going on today. And so because of that, you really can't do too much about it because they're going to have to learn from their suffering. You see, women got everything they wanted. They got all they were told they were princesses and everybody does everything for them. Well, now guys are saying, you know what, fuck it. At least I'm saying that. I don't know about anybody else. I still see people excusing feminism. Well, it's okay, but as long as they don't do this. But I still think the ideology is okay. I don't give a damn. Whatever. I already know it is. I know what it is. I know the destruction that this thing has caused this whole country and all this crap that we're dealing with now. It's destroyed the family. It's destroyed women. It's destroyed men. It's destroyed children. It's destroyed every fucking bit of anything that made any of this place worth tolerating. Now it's intolerable. It's completely intolerable. All right, everywhere you go, you see it everywhere. It's completely intolerable. And when that little lever starts to go up and start hitting that red zone, then you got to get out of the blast zone because it can only go up from there. All right. So learn what you got to learn for yourself. This is just a little bit of advice for MGTOW men, and this kind of taps into the whole thing with survival. Get yourself prepped, get yourself ready. Stay informed. Stay informed about current events. Learn what you need to learn and keep it to yourself. If you got people you like to talk to on YouTube about these things, good. As far as the rest of the general population, fuck them. Because they're not going to listen anyway. And you can't save the world or everybody. That's not your job. Right? Because you got to learn. You can't go out there trying to help people unless you help yourself first, because it's a backup plan. If you go out there trying to help people and you're not helped and you haven't helped yourself first, meaning you haven't got your things in order, it's like the whole thing with a shit hits the fan situation. Would you go out there and give people your prepping food and supplies if you didn't have enough? You go out there and you look at somebody that doesn't have any food and they're banging on your door. Hey, come on, help me. And you're like, okay, I'll help you. Even though, okay, I'll give you some of my supplies. And they give them their supplies and they break in and they fucking shoot you in the head. And that's exactly what will happen with most people, That's just it. You know what? So basically, if you're a young guy out there, you're a middle-aged guy, MGTOW, you get it. You know what's going on. You know that feminism is not just, I hate talking about feminism. I'm so sick and tired of talking about feminism. Like I said, I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. If I hear the word feminism one more time, I'm going to throw up. So I'm done talking about feminism. I'm done. I've already said everything that I think I needed to say on it. And I think I've already said everything I need to say about MGTOW too. We already know the philosophy is the right way to go. It's the only option we have. Save yourself. Learn what you got to learn. Keep it to yourself, and just fucking hold on for dear life, because we're getting to that point where the idiots are starting to throw barrels of gasoline on the fire, and it's only a matter of time before they blow themselves up. And I'm not going to be around when they do that. Whether it's a SHTF situation, whether it is fucking with women completely destroying men's lives, look, if you haven't got it yet, then I can't help you. There have been thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of mgtow videos out there explaining this stuff to ad nauseum, and we've done this, and people have done this stuff for years and years and years, making videos about this stuff. If you still haven't gotten it yet, good luck to you, buddy. I ain't going to be around. I'm not going to be around to watch the disaster, and I'm definitely not going to be around to get caught up in the blast, Save yourself, As far as everybody else is concerned, fuck them. I don't give a damn. Fuck them. I don't give a damn anymore. I don't care. Because people didn't want to listen, they're not going to listen, and they're not going to listen unless they suffer. And even when they suffer, they're going to deny it, like so many people do. They come up with all these different reasons to explain away their suffering, and to say that it's some kind of righteous thing, that whatever they say is a good thing, or whatever. Save yourself, get yourself prepped. You know what's going on. You know that mgtow is the right way to go. It's the only way to go. We're walking away. We're done. Leave it behind you. Right? And you look back and fuck them, because they're not going to listen and they don't care. So that's all I had to say.